Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you an underrated method for getting perfect symmetry in 3D software, and honestly, it's something I don't hear people talk about very often. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, perfect symmetry, don't you just mirror the object down the middle and call it a day? And you'd be right, that does work, but here's the catch. When you mirror, you usually have to choose one side to keep and delete the other. The problem is, sometimes you don't want to make that choice. Maybe you like little details from both sides of your object. That's where this method comes in. What I'm going to show you will actually blend both sides together, so you end up with a perfectly symmetrical model that keeps the best of both worlds, or in this case, both sides. Now, a head might not be the perfect example for this, because usually you actually want faces to be a little asymmetrical for realism. But for this demo, I thought it would be fun to see what my friend would look like if he was 100% symmetrical. Alright, let's start. First, I'm going to duplicate the mesh, flip it, and then freeze the transformations. If we apply a blend shape right now, you'll notice something strange. It just flips right back to the original mesh. That's not what we want. The reason this happens is because when we mirrored the mesh, the vertex IDs also got flipped. What we actually need is to mirror the shape, but keep the original vertex order intact. The way to fix this is by transferring the vertex ID order from the original mesh to the mirrored one. To show you what's happening, I'll turn on the vertex ID display in the corner of the mesh so you can see the difference. Now, to transfer the vertex order, we just select both meshes, go up to the mesh menu, and choose Transfer Vertex Order. Maya will then ask us to pick 3 vertices. We'll click 3 points on the source mesh, and then the same 3 points on the flipped mesh. Once that's done, the vertex IDs are lined up correctly. Select both meshes again, and then go to the Deform menu and click Blend Shape. This time, you'll see something much closer to what we actually want. And here's the cool part. If we set the blend shape slider to exactly 50%, both meshes will balance perfectly with each other, giving us a clean, symmetrical result. The only downside to this method is that it requires a symmetrical topology. So just keep that in mind when you're doing a retopology. I also want to show you a more practical example. This is a 3D scan of an old Jaguar car, and I've tried to align it as best as I can. But if we take a closer look, you'll see the scan still isn't perfectly symmetrical. If I were applying this symmetry method here, I'd go panel by panel. Let's use the front panel as an example. I'll start by retopologizing the left side using the quad draw tool. And to begin with, I'm keeping it low poly, since I'll be subdividing it over the live mesh later on. Once that side is done, I mirror it the traditional way, freeze the transforms, and align it to the right side. Then I go back in with quad draw and snap each vertex carefully so it matches the live mesh. Finally, I subdivide both sides and smooth them again, so each vertex snaps neatly back to the scanned surface, leaving us with a clean, well-matched panel. Now that we've finished the retopology on both sides, we can apply the same symmetry method that I demonstrated earlier. That means mirroring the mesh, freezing the transforms, transferring the vertex order, and finally blending the shapes at 50%. As you can see, doing this makes the final result look much more polished and professional. When you apply this approach across an entire project, the final result just feels cleaner, sharper, and far more believable. If you found this method helpful, a like and subscribe would be really appreciated. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next video.